Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Thursday, let's do this. Adam Montiel, thank you so much for being Up+Adam. Excited you're here, excited for today's show. Been looking forward to this conversation for a minute. Coming up, what happens when the entrepreneur who built the business becomes the very thing holding it back? Maybe you can, or know someone who can relate to this. Stephen Herring, he started with a few tables, a couple hundred chairs, and a trailer parked at the Atascadero Vons. Today, he now owns 6 companies. That enterprise that I just told you about became all about events. But his biggest lesson wasn't on how to work harder. It was how to stop making himself the answer to every question. So many businesses can benefit from learning this. The fix for every problem, and the person holding everything together is always so often the founder, right? There's a conversation about business, yes, but it's also about control, trust, burnout, leadership, and the fear of letting go. Stephen opens up about watching his events business completely collapse in 2020, rebuilding from the ground up, and then learning that real success isn't being needed every minute. It's creating people, systems, and a life that can keep moving when you aren't in the room. Something. It is something. Part 1 of my conversation with Stephen Herring coming up today. Thrilled to have you on Up+Adam. All right, we're gonna no headlines today. I'm excited to get right into the chat. I do want to tell you about Benny's Pizza happy hour today, 4:30 to 6:30 every Monday through Friday. 3.5 domestic cans, $2 off premium beer and wines, plus food specials that definitely hit the spot. Check out the patio. Check out lunch. Salad, slice of pizza, and a Coke sounds pretty good. Get you back at work early, too. Order up 439-3838. Don't sleep on their lasagna. Well, definitely don't literally sleep on it. It'll get all over you. But it's incredible. A great little frozen thing. Pack it away till you need it or give it to someone. Great if you're signing up for a meal train. Benny's Pizza. And let them know you heard them on Up+Adam.
It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, Stephen Herring started with a few tables. Imagine this, a couple hundred plastic chairs and a trailer parked at the Atascadero Vons parking lot, right off 41. And today now he owns 6 companies, including All About Events, which is, an incredible enterprise. Willow and Oak Estate, Gain Station Gym, also Legacy Leadership Consulting. He's, among more, he's built, scaled, lost, rebuilt, and learn the hard way that the goal isn't to be the most important person in the building. It's to create the systems, the leaders, and accountability that allow the business to thrive without you having to hold every piece together. He's here to talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, discipline, and how to stop owning a high-stress job and start building a real business. Stephen Herring, man, thank you so much for hanging out, being in the SLO CAL Studios. Thanks for being Up+Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being Up+Adam. Dude, it's been a minute.
It's been a while. I was just thinking about it on the way down here. It was pre-COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
It was with Rich Secnorelli and Ali.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the ordinance for VRBOs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then you did, I remember, I talked to you
we've talked.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you helped out with some tables and stuff for my 40th birthday.
Yep.
And I'm far from 40 now. I'm a few years past 40. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn it. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I remember that VRBO thing. How'd that ever end up?
They're still going back and forth.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the efficiency isn't there yet, but yeah, it's smoothed out. I mean, we're still, the venues are rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we're talking about noise ordinances in like rural Paso.
Yeah.
Or like people will rent and.
Yeah, it's because the VRBOs that were licensed as VRBOs, they were having more of private weddings on their properties. So
Yeah.
the county wanted to make sure that they had the right licensing.
And that's where Rich Taccarelli comes in because of Terramia, and he does a lot of stuff out there. And
Yeah.
And no, I mean, gosh, it's so funny because noise ordinances, we're still talking about whether it's up there in rural Paso or whether it's like, I mean, shoot, we just did this thing with, Libertine and downtown Slow. The noise ordinances, my goodness.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're strict on it.
Yeah.
Which I totally get, I mean, anything past 10 o'clock amplified music, people are trying to go to sleep and get their kids down maybe. So I totally understand it, but it's one of those things to where how involved do they really need to be?
You're fun to watch because you're pivoting. You're so business minded, and you're also very like, I feel like my blood boils with you. I go, yeah, what's going on? Let's go. Yeah. Like I feel like I get jazzed up.
Yeah.
And then here you are coming here like, on a gym now and all these different, sure, we could talk about all about events. I know we will. Legacy leaders, what you're repping right now. This is kind of a new and really exciting thing for you. And that's kind of because I love the entrepreneurial spirit, and I love talking about how to like succeed in that here. And you're a tough dude, and we usually tell the entrepreneurial story as a victory lap. You build it, you grew it, you made yourself indispensable, but there's like this strange moment where you realize like, I don't know if that was the goal. And I'm curious, when you first realized that being the most important person in your own company wasn't really proof that you built it correctly. It was kind of evidence that maybe something's broken here.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And it took me many years to figure that out, right? It's like, I never thought I was going to go into being the owner of All About Events or renting out tables and chairs and installing large scale tinting, right? I thought I was going to be a firefighter. I was working for CAL FIRE and on the oil fields. I just always worked really hard, and grinded. So I always thought that was my calling, was that type of thing. So I started my business, first one, 2008, just as like a little side hustle. Anyway, then I was working for CAL FIRE in the oil field at that time. 2009, I went through Fire Academy. 2010, I was supposed to get picked up by CAL FIRE. That didn't work out.
So
budget cuts.
That was your path.
Yeah.
That, by all accounts, you knew 3 years from now, I'm going to be 2 years into being a firefighter. You know what I mean? Like, this was my path.
Yeah.
And then life switches you up.
Yeah. And so my little side hustle started taking off a little bit. And, in 2010, I made the decision to quit everything and focus and go all in on my little business that I started. And then 2000.
And what was that called?
It was called Party Partners Rental.
And you were renting out what exactly?
20 or 60-inch wood round tables and 200 plastic folding chairs is how I started, and a 12-foot enclosed trailer that I would go park at Vons parking lot in Atascadero with my wrap on it and my phone number, and people would just hit me up for little backyard parties and quinceañeras and stuff like that in 2008. Yeah. And so then in 2010, when I decided to go all in, I met a gal that owned a company called All About Tabletops. So she owned everything on top of the table, didn't own any furniture, glassware, the linen, the plates, all that stuff. Worked a deal with her, bought that company out, merged Party Partners with All About Tabletops. And that's where we got All About Events, because we had tinting and everything else. So
that's how it started.
Yeah.
And you think, All About Events feels like, that store, the Mountain Air, been around 50 years. Like, All About Events feels like it's just like this institution here that's been around forever. And 2010.
2010. Yeah, going on, what is that?
16 years.
16 years.
That's cool. Congrats.
Thank you.
But it's still, I guess I don't know. I feel like it's such a staple. I would have assumed it's even longer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that it came out right out of that time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're always, we're evolving and growing and learning. So to go back to your original question, I always hustled when I was a kid in high school and, college and stuff like that, making extra money, selling Pogs in junior high and,
Stop it, really?
Yeah. We got them banned. It was actually sixth grade. Pogs, got those banned from sixth grade, not allowed to play with them or deal with them anymore.
Okay, we got to let people, if someone's listening, this is also it's emblematic of me being just older than you enough where like I was becoming a little bit more, was like I was too cool for Pogs, but I definitely had some slammers, but I remember how these just like before the internet took over the world. And like all of your baseball card shops were now selling Pogs and Slammers and the whole thing. And it was like a game, but you really collect. It was not even about the game, it was about the collecting of them.
Yeah. So there was the two aspects of it, right? You have your collection Pogs. So yeah, we went all in. I used to have the 6-foot tube.
No way.
Oh yeah, bro. Like
full of
like
Pogs.
those were my my trading Pogs.
Okay.
Then you would have your high end Pogs in the heavier case with like that was with all your slammers in it and stuff.
What did it stand for again?
Oh, shit.
I know.
Something orange guava.
Passion orange
guava. POG. Passion orange guava.
That's what it came from.
It was the caps on the old school bottles, like Hawaii, and they used to pop them off, and those were Pogs. So at that time in 6th grade, my dad would travel a lot. And so he would go over to Hawaii quite often. So I would have original, like the OG Pogs from Hawaii.
Way.
Oh yeah. Everybody wanted them.
Yeah. So did you start selling these or something?
I was selling them, trading them. You know, we'd play the games.
There was always that like entrepreneurial dude at school too. And you might have been this dude at your school. I remember this one guy, he in his backpack would sell blow pops.
Oh yeah.
All during high school. And just anytime, and I think it was like probably back in the day, a quarter, 50 cents. I mean, it was, and he would just have candy. But dude must have made a man, even was driving like a Honda Accord in high school that he bought himself. I mean, like, I remember these like entrepreneurial spirits even in school.
Oh yeah. And it started young, you know, even before that, I was selling mistletoe out of the trees, cut them out of the oak trees during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Cut down the mistletoe, wrap it in a little red bow, and then go around the neighborhood and sell them for 25 cents or whatever. So just doing that, baseball cards, obviously selling those, trading those. It was always.
Where'd you get this? Is this from your dad?
My dad. Yeah. A little bit of both, my mom and my dad. Like my dad was more on the business side, traveler, business guy.
Yeah.
Traveled a lot, so we didn't see each other that often growing up. My mom was a really hard worker. She's still, you know, working or was working at the same dentist office for 30 something years, you know, just grinded. Like she was always working super hard.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of both of them installed in me, you know, instilled from a young age.
Your dad's still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
Oh, cool.
Living in Atascadero. My mom still stays at my house or mine and my wife's house.
So you're tight with your family. You engage with them. And
for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't always see eye to eye on everything, but
that's family, dude. Yeah. Wouldn't be called family if you did.
So yeah, they're still around. So yeah, just started from a young age. Just always wanted not wanted nice things, but I played a lot of sports, and my parents split when I was 4. So coming from kind of that background, and money was always an issue with child support and all this other shit that's going on. So I always, just from a young age, I just didn't want to be put in that uncomfortable situation. So I was always trying, not that I was making enough at that time to buy my own shit, but that was kind of
security.
Yeah. So I learned that from a young age, and then just continued on to high school. We won't talk about all that, but, you know, but I was always finding ways to, you know, make ends meet.
Okay, for real.
That type of thing. But yeah,
something harkening back like a late 90s Biggie song or something.
Oh yeah. Just like that. But I wasn't driving nice cars. I was in a 1982 Ford Festiva, you know.
Dude,
still working at KFC, my first job.
Ford Festiva,
a little 4-banger.
It was like a shoe. It was super small.
It was like, remember Flippos?
Yeah.
Remember the roller skate when it was your birthday?
Right.
It looked exactly like that,
just
dude.
like that.
Yeah. Had a Betty Boop sticker on the back. Oh yeah.
Ford Festiva. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. I just love hearing it. It's almost like a Geo Metro.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like names that you just don't hear anymore. Oh, I almost want to go Google that right now.
Oh, I have a picture of it on my phone. I just my nephew's 22. He's like, I just want a nice car. I'm like, bro, this is what I used to fucking drive.
I drove around a high top.
yeah. It was literally a roller skate. Like the wheels were like wheelbarrow size.
I know.
You know?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like you see those now on like the register at Foot Locker as like Shaq's shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like a Ford Festiva.
Yeah.
You know, entrepreneurs, they love to say like, nobody can do it the way I do it, you know? Mm-hmm. And I guess that's true. And I guess that's experience talking. How often is the owner truly the only person capable of doing the work? How often have they maybe unconsciously kind of built a company that keeps proving how necessary they are because they almost need to do that?
So that's the biggest problem with entrepreneurs, right? Is we are the biggest bottleneck in our own companies, no matter what industry you're in. So you ask, you know, when is the business owner the best at it, right? Elon Musk. Nobody can do what he does. But look at how many employees around him that do everything way better than he can at those different aspects of his company.
Great point.
Right? So there are aspects in different parts of my business that I feel that I do way better than everybody. But guess what? If I was still doing those things, I wouldn't be able to scale and grow and be paying attention to working on my business rather than in it. Right.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that I tell everybody, if in a lot of these business owners and operators that I consult for, it's like, it's a misconception that nobody can do it like you. You have to find the people that actually care just as much as you do, right? And as long as they care as much as you, and you have your mission and values, and they are bought into those, and you give them the vision of the direction you're heading, and if they do it 90% at your quality, that means that's a huge win, because they're never going to do it as well as you would, because it's your company.
Well, they're not you, yeah.
And you care about it so much. So they're going to come over and scrub something a little bit more. But nobody's going to notice that except you, right? So if you're trying to build a company to where you can step out of one of these days, is you're going to have to be okay with not the quality by going down by any means, but be okay with coaching them through those instances to where maybe there's 5 or 10% that they could have done better, and explaining to them how to do it better.
How does somebody who's starting something on their own get to the point where they go, okay, maybe not even so much the word scalability, but I need a little help. And how much risk should one be willing to take as far as the money expended? And again, that giving up some of that, I guess what we're talking about is like the ownership of just the perfectionist. I have to have my hand on it. Like that's something to give up. How much risk should one be willing to embark on if they're going to, I want to try and scale it, but try and get some help, try to see if I can increase production, make some more money, and scale up a little bit?
Yeah, I think you have to have your systems and your processes in place for sure. So no matter if because you have to remember, we build these companies, it's just us. Most companies that are built, it's just a single operator at first, and then you start to scale, right? Everything's in our head. We remember how to do everything. So we remember the SOPs, the standard operating procedures, that's all in our head. So this is what I tell all my clients, before you think about scaling, you have to have your systems dialed in. Every process that you have has to have a documented SOP. That way, when you're onboarding people, how to wash dishes, whatever, this is the standard. This is the step-by-step guide on how we wash dishes here. And here's all the tools that you need. This is how you do it. So that way, when you hire somebody to wash those dishes, you're not over there micromanaging, tell them how to wash dishes, right? They can look at that SOP. You can show them one time. And then guess what? Out of the 50 questions that they normally would have, they might come to you for 2 or 3 of those questions because everything's so documented, right? And that has to be for every process that you're trying to hire out for, right? And then it goes beyond that too. You can't just delegate something out and have somebody do that work without any constant follow-up. Not micromanaging. There has to be accountability tied in with that, right? So I can't just tell somebody, I did it for years. I would tell people I need X, Y, and Z done. I would text them. I would email them. I would call them. I would forget about it because they're going to handle it, right? And then 2 weeks goes by. I'm like, oh, shit. Hey, whatever happened with X, Y, and Z? Oh, well, you gave me 5 other things to do, and I thought those took priority. So that got pushed. So then it builds up frustration on my part. This is the early stages of my business back in 2014. To when the holding people accountable on a consistent basis, that's when it was like, holy shit, like that's what I need to do. So I adopted a program. I still use it. It's called Asana. It's a task management program. So any task or anything, any job that I need done, anything that I need done, I just drop it on Asana for my general manager. And it's chain of command, right? So I don't go and talk to managers or anything like that. I delegate everything to my general manager and she delegates out. And then, so now everything's in one clean area to where I can go and set.
Where is that one piece? Where is that one issue?
It's on your cell phone. It's on
but I'm saying that's what you're going back and you're saying like, okay, where is this? Where is the Johnson account right now?
Exactly.
Where is whatever?
So then that way you don't have to ask or remind them, and you can set priority levels, due dates, all that stuff.
Did you use AI for that?
No, it's called Asana, ASANA.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. And so it's just there's a bunch of them out there.
got
There's
it.
Monday, there's Circle, there's a bunch of them.
Oh, I see. So it's like a third party kind of platform that you're doing. It works great.
It's just a desktop to where you can see and you can have different buckets.
Oh, there you
so
go.
I own 6 different companies. So I have 6 different buckets. Each bucket has my general manager or my ops manager, whoever I have a direct communication with, and anything I want done for that company, I just drop in that bucket and then I forget about it. And then by the due date, it pops up and it should be checked off that it's done.
You have 6 different companies?
Yeah.
Dude, tell me all 6.
So All About Events,
Of course.
Willow and Oak Estate, which that's our wedding and event venue in Creston.
Oh my gosh.
65-acre ranch. Then I own Gain Station Gym. We just started that in June of this year.
Wow. How's that going?
It's going good.
Cool.
Yeah. Took some time to get off the ground and moving, but it's awesome. 24/7 facility.
Wow.
Then I own Legacy Leaders, which is consulting and mentoring. And then I own 2 more that are in the California agricultural compliant companies.
Okay.
Or industry.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
more of the...
Those are those hard to do? Are those like people think you would get into that and print money? And I heard it's far from it.
we burn money.
Yeah.
It's like, as in not in the good way.
No,
Like,
what you mean? Because I talked to my friend, Sean from Golden Apple, and I know these are very, very lots. I mean, you think red tape? I mean, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And we just were talking about noise ordinance. You think that's challenging.
Yeah.
But how I got into that industry is I had a bunch of friends in high school and college that were all very good cultivators. I don't even know how to keep a houseplant alive.
For sure,
But I
right.
know how to grow and keep businesses alive.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
I started running their operations as far as like getting equipment and soil and everything ordered for them. I would manage their money. I would manage their operations. They would manage all that, the sales, and I just managed the admin type stuff for these companies or these businesses. And then, so I got out of that for a while. Obviously that was years and years and years ago. Then when the ordinance in San Luis Obispo County started happening or started being talked about for the cannabis industry, my ears perked up. So I started paying attention because I pay attention to a lot of the ordinances in San Luis County, owning businesses and everything. So, and then COVID happened in 2020. And then so at that time I owned CrossFit Ergo, a CrossFit gym, which I don't own anymore. And then All About Events.
You're a serial entrepreneur.
I've owned, yeah. So I just, I like starting. I'm
going to see a kid with a lemonade stand down the street, and it's going to be like you're going to go make in for an acquisition or something.
Oh, dude, you want to hear something funny? When we moved in my neighborhood 6 years ago, there's this kid, Zach, that literally, he was at that time, he's a senior now. He would wheel in and out the trash cans of the people in the neighborhood, and he would charge $20 a month. And I was like in love with this kid. I tell my wife, I'm like, dude, this guy is awesome. Because at that
probably
time,
your son from it's crazy. He's like,
he was 10 years old,
cut from the same cloth.
And so I literally talked to my wife and talked to him. I'm like, I'm going to bring you around to other neighborhoods, and you're going to like do the old people's villages or the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So I just love business.
Zach is driving a Range Rover right now. That's cool though.
So yeah. So I kind of got off track. Oh, the ordinances.
Yeah.
So how I got back into those was 2020. I owned CrossFit Ergo and All About Events, which got completely shut down, demolished.
I can't even imagine All About Events. You can't do anything.
No, I mean, 2020 was supposed to be on track to be a record year because of the date. So when people get married, 2020, right, on invitations, they really want to find those cool dates. So 10, 20, 20, 20 type thing, you know what I mean? So on top of that, it was supposed to be a really good year. And then our season ramps up in March, April, May, June, and dips. So the unfortunate part is I always go over to conventions every February to buy new inventory. So because it was going to be such a big year, I spent a lot of money on
February of 2020.
February of 2020.
Just to get shut down a month later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had a lot on the books. And so depleting my cash, buying a bunch of inventory, everybody freaking out, which was understandable at the time, wanting their deposits returned and this and that, and the uncertainty of what was going on. It was wild. So then
should have got into the parklet business.
The what?
The parklet
Oh,
business. You know what I mean? Like furnishing parklets, because I mean, remember those got popular, the parklets?
Well, yeah, in Paso.
Yeah, everywhere.
I
Slow.
donated all my shit.
Oh, really?
That was all about events, tents, and we
that's
did the
right.
park. Yeah.
I did a whole thing on the air about that.
Yeah.
You made these like it was like little mini restaurants out there
outside
in
dining.
the park.
Yeah, in the park.
That was so cool of you.
I think 40 farmhouse tables.
Yeah.
And then all the businesses that wanted to like try to stay open, I
promoted this. This was a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Really one of the
dining in the park.
Yeah. Really one of the sweeter moments that came out of COVID.
Yeah.
And Paso did COVID, I think, probably more right than anybody
for sure
around here.
Yeah.
But that was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Well, you saw just how many people from like Santa Barbara County, LA County, Northern California wanted to come here.
For sure.
You know.
And that's what kind of, I mean, obviously the wine put us on the map from the early stages, and then the events and this and that. And I think that was the cherry on the top, is like what really got us exposed was because we, stayed open a little bit more safely.
Some people never even rebounded outside COVID. Like radio. I mean, shoot, I'm doing all my shows independent now, and thank God,
Yeah.
Did the events business and your business, All About Events, did it ever rebound to pre-COVID levels?
Yeah. Yes. It was a crazy year, right?
Good.
Because we had all that pent up demand, everybody that was supposed to get married in 2020, 2021. So it would have been end of 22 is when it took off all the way through 23. But they were really good years because I was so afraid to spend any money. Like we went super lean, with labor, with trucks, with this, with that. And it was very hard work.
So you had to buckle down.
Yeah.
But at least...
But yeah, so it took back off, and rebounded a little bit. But now it's pretty like
plateauy.
Yeah, it's like a little flat. So now, but that's where I feel that I've learned over the years. I'm really good at reading financials and just reading between the lines, understanding how like where the revenue leaks are, where we can save on some labor over here. Because I'm a very operational minded person. So I can walk into a warehouse or a business, doesn't matter what industry you're in, and I can look at your financials, and your financials tell me the story of how your business is doing, Yeah. And then I can just start dissecting it, asking questions. So that's all I do for my 6 companies now, is I just on a monthly, and don't get me wrong, I talk to my general managers and my COOs depending on the companies.
But you're consulting for all your 6 companies.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing, know. And I'm just reviewing the financials. I don't talk to any other employees, except I do leadership trainings once a month at All About Events with the whole team.
Wow.
So I'll come in and then run it with my COO, Robert, and my VP, Brittany, there. And we'll just do a quick hour-and-a-half leadership training of some sort on a Friday once a month.
Yeah.
Same thing at my other companies, except Gain Station. We're kind of getting that one going right now.
Legacy Leaders is this consulting. You will do this for other companies, and you have like actually an application process on the website. So you might look at somebody's situation and say, you know what, I'm not for you.
Yeah.
But you might look at someone and be like, wow, like I think looking at this, I think we could really do some work together.
For sure. And when I started consulting in 2020, another thing that I had to pivot into because a lot of these businesses that were essential, construction, landscaping, they took off, right? Everybody was getting stuff built and this and that, but they didn't know how to scale, right? So I had a lot of friends and a lot of local companies, reach out to me because I've been in business for myself for 12 years at that time, and they've seen that I scaled and it looked like I knew what I was doing. So they would come to me and I would help them prepare to scale, because they just took off. So I would work different deals with them. Like, hey, if any more, any efficiencies that I can bring to the table, increase your bottom line, like we can split profit share and type stuff like that, and just to that way, they're not paying me to consult. Like I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
So I really started doing that in 2020. I stopped doing it a little bit because I got to the point where I felt I was more babysitting people, and just a lot of us entrepreneurs, we need to be held accountable by somebody, right? Like, unless like me, I'm a very accountable person to myself. Nobody else is holding me accountable, but I'm consistent, I'm disciplined, I'm accountable. A lot of these business owners, because they're running all over the place, I'm going to do this, and they start it, and then they don't finish it, and they start a new loop over here. And now the next thing you know, they have 35 loops open. So then I felt when I was doing traditional consulting, half of my clients, I'm just talking about the same shit every single week, you know, like, hey, did you do X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then next meeting, it wouldn't get done. So application process, that's where I was going with that, is it doesn't matter. To me, it's not about the money. I want to see people win, you know, like I have other companies going on and this and that. I'm truly doing it because leadership, like we talked about kind of before we started this conversation, I feel that we're lacking leadership on a lot of different levels in the family, in businesses, in politics, in a lot of different areas, right? So my goal for legacy leaders is literally because I understand now how important leadership is in family and business and everything, is I developed leadership skills and I'm working on it for myself every single day. But my goal is to develop as many leaders around me as I can and have that trickle down effect. Because if I can develop my leaders at All About Events, 2 of them, and they can start developing 10 or 15 underneath them at All About Events, and I could do that for other companies, that's the ultimate goal for me.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
There he is, Steve Herring. Check him out. Founder, Legacy Leadership Consulting, and the entrepreneur behind, well, we told you, man, All About Events, Gain Station Gym, he and his wife, Willow and Oak Estate, among more. Find Steven at legacyhq.io. Legacyhq.io. Come back for part 2. It's going to be a great conversation, and all the links at your fingertips in the show notes. All right, don't forget, coming up, Distillery Trail Weekend happening August 7th through 9th. Go to PasoRoblesDistilleryTrail.com. Find out what, you know, the almost dozen or over dozen different distillery members are doing for this very special weekend. They also got that copper card. If you know someone who is really into the distillery movement, they got to have one of these copper cards. It's a great gift idea. It costs $125. You taste it every single distillery, and they open, it's like, oh, they open the doors for you. They open the cellars, the whole thing. You get to see the stills, and it's a really kind of cool VIP way. And if you were to go taste at all those member distillers, it costs you well over $250. The whole card, $125. Get to taste at all of them. Never expires too. Unless you got this cool ass little copper card to keep in your wallet. So check out the Paso Robles Distillery Trail, the website, PasoRoblesDistilleryTrail.com. Get all the info on Distillery Trail Weekend, August 7th through 9th, and the copper card. I thank them for being Up and Adam, and I can't wait to see you guys out there August 7th through 9th. Faux show. Also want to show some love to the Mountaineer. Love these guys. Downtown Slow. Over 50 years they've been doing their thing. And why on earth would you go to a big national store when you got someone who's been doing it right, doing it local for over 50 years? Josh and Lindsay Herring, completely spelled differently, different from our guest Herring today, no relation. But they're right there on Marsh Street, helping generations and generations of people get outside and love doing it at all skill levels. Hiking, camping, climbing, doing what you're doing. Check them out. Go to themountaineer.com for more. Let them know you heard them on Up and Adam. Also, a couple doors down, their store, The Switchback. Buy and sell used gear. TheSwitchback.com. Again, themountaineer.com. The Mountaineer, San Luis Obispo. All right. Thanks to Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show called Start Again. Again, Under the Moon concert series is Friday, August 14th. New Where Wine Takes You coming this week. Check out last week's super fun new episode of The Pour. We're talking the White Wine Invitational. Check that out. Again, wherever you're listening to this podcast, you can listen to that one. Also, we've got a brand new episode of both Where Wine Take You and The Pour coming up this week. So get caught up. Get caught up. All right. I want to thank you so much for connecting here, rating, reviewing, subscribing to the show, whatever. It just means so much. Sharing this with a friend, again, means so much. We're recorded at my SLO CAL Studios in the heart of San Luis Obispo County, California. SLO CAL, where the wine is world class, the people are real, and life is too beautiful to rush. Returns well taken. Visit SLOCAL.com. It's SLOCAL, SLOCAL.com. All right, till tomorrow. I'm Adam Montiel. Guess what? Tomorrow, it's Friday. We'll take it. Till then, enjoy the day, and thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to Let's start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start